Okay, guys, let's do some more Edward. So we're on chapter 19, the last we left off. Edward, aka Jangles, was hanging out with Sarah Ruth, who's the sick little girl, and her older brother Bryce, and he's kind of looking after her. And their dad is really mean and just like, oh, he's terrible. And they're looking up at the stars, and Sarah Ruth sees a star, makes a wish, and Edward wished on it too. All right, chapter 19. Huh. That looks like Edward on the ground next to the bed with some string by him. Oh, yeah, remember? They were like using Edward like a. Bryce was using Edward like a puppet to make him kind of dance like a marionette. If you've ever seen those puppets with the strings. The days passed, the sun rose and set, and rose and set again and again. Sometimes the father came home, and sometimes he did not. Edward's ears became soggy, and he did not care. His sweater had almost completely unraveled, and it didn't bother him. He was hugged half to death, and it felt good. In the evenings, at the hands of Bryce, at the ends of the twine, Edward danced and danced. So you remember, Edward used to before like not even want to be like touched or anything. Or if people were talking, he was like, oh, I'm not even gonna listen to them, with Abilene. And then as he's gone on through from person to person, he's kind of like learned a little bit more about love. And now he's getting his ears slobbered on by Sarah Ruth. The clothes are all ripped up, but he don't care. He's loving it. Why do you think he's loving it? I think he's loving it because he's got like a little girl that's like loves him so much more than anything in the world. 1 month passed, and then 2, and then 3. Sarah Ruth got worse. In the fifth month, she refused to eat, and in the 6th month, she began to cough up blood. Her breathing became ragged and uncertain, as if she was trying to remember, in between breaths, what to do, what breathing was. This girl can hardly breathe. She's spitting up blood. Breathe, honey, Bryce stood over her and said. Breathe through, Edward, from deep inside. Wait, breathe, thought Edward, from deep inside the well of her arms. Please, please, breathe. Bryce stopped leaving the house. He sat at home all day and held Sarah Ruth in his lap and rocked her back and forth and sang to her. On a bright morning in September, Sarah Ruth stopped breathing. Whoa. Oh no, said Bryce. Oh, honey, take a little breath. Please. Edward had fallen out of Sarah Ruth's arms the night before she had not asked for him again. So, face down on the floor, arms over his head, Edward listened as Bryce wept. Wept means cry. He listened as the father came home and shouted at Bryce. He listened as the father wept. You can't cry, Bryce shouted. You got no reason to cry. You never even loved her. You don't know nothing about love. I loved her, said the father. I loved her. I loved her too, thought Edward. I loved her, and now she was gone. How could this be, he wondered. How could he bear to live in a world without Sarah Ruth? The yelling between the father and the son continued. And then there was a terrible moment when the father insisted that Sarah Ruth belonged to him, that she was his girl, his baby, and that he was taking her to be buried. She ain't yours, Bryce screamed. You can't take her. She ain't yours. But the father was bigger and stronger, and he prevailed, which means he won. He wrapped Sarah Ruth in a blanket and carried her away. The small house became very quiet. Edward could hear Bryce moving around, muttering to himself, and then finally the boy picked Edward up. Come on, Jangles, Bryce said. We're leaving. We're going to Memphis. Cool. I mean, not cool that Sarah Ruth died. Sorry. That was heavy. Heavy. But I just thought it was cool that he's going to Memphis. Like, that's kind of a cool thing to say. Okay. Whoa, guys. Hope y'all got your tissues, because that's sad. Oh, my goodness. But, I mean, I know you're learning a lesson. We're learning about we're learning about life right now, you guys. So, all right. Keep responding. See you later.